Yeah, man. Nah, but let's get it started, man. Like I said, I mean, shit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's changing. With Trump being ahead of the world. You could say that, because he's changing a lot. I mean, a lot of people don't like him, but I think at first when he came out, like, because I guess it was his first time and he didn't know how to speak. He just talked out of his ass. So a lot of people got the wrong message about him.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this. Like, Trump was brought here for chaos, uh, because he has a soul contract.
Mm.
There's an episode. I want to give a shout outs to Sean. He has a digital hour. It's called the Digital Social Hour podcast,
Yeah.
and he had Elizabeth April on. She does readings, telepath. She's been to a lot of good podcast shows like uh, Tinfoil Hats, and the list goes on and on. And she was seeing the contract. He has a sole contract that he is supposed to bring chaos to this world,
No
which
shit.
means look what's going on. Like, hey, we're in the sign of Aquarius. You see all these disasters. You see people waking up from their deep sleep. We were too comfortable. It's like, hey man, it's time. Hey, you got to get your fat ass up somehow and start working out. So he's bringing chaos. And what's going on is with Trump now, they're really trying to fuck him over. I mean, really bad to the point. Now you deal with it. They keep on sending money. They keep on doing this, but I don't want to be overtracked. But Trump, he's gonna clean house.
Yeah.
But there's always been conspiracies. The templates, Masons. I can't say that other one. He has a good relationship with them boys. And if people don't know who are them boys, it's Israel. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen because we're $32 trillion in debt. So there's gonna be a lot of stuff that's gonna be going high, but he's cleaning house. When Trump got into office, he didn't know the ropes. We all saw, but the economy was doing good. Then they kicked him out because, hey, this is we're gonna give it back to the left, the Democrats, and they fucked it up. I mean, look at everything's going up, and they're taking more of our check, and people have to work 3 or 4 jobs because, oh, we're sending money to Israel, oh, we're sending money to Taiwan, we're sending money over here to Ukraine. But what about us, man? There's so many fucking people dying of like overdose of like fentanyl drugs. I mean, people don't give a fuck. I mean, close to what people don't even talk about, 200 to 300,000 people already fucking dying every year. And it's not from war, it's from people coming in from Mexico. You got Russia, you got China. So right now there's a lot of countries that are like, hey, let's go invade Israel, let's go invade the United States, and let's take down these superpowers. But at the same time, Trump doesn't want that. Let's work out deals, let's bring more money in so we can kind of pay off our fucking debt, for $36 trillion. But you got to remember, $32 trillion that we're in debt for is because of Israel.
Yeah.
And these are the things that I can't really say, but Trump's going to clean house. But the elites, they want to stay in power because when Trump takes office, there's no wars, there's no money to be spent. That's how it is. The military industrial complex. We're going to stop it. The downfall with the FBI, the CIA. I mean, he has his team ready to go. Like, we got this. And the elites are like, fuck, how am I to make money? So we'll just see what happens. But at the same time, they're just doing all these crazy ass shit. I mean, look what's going on with the weather right now. There's fog everywhere in the world. There's been a lot of conspiracies of people walking on top of the clouds. What's going on? There's strange shit.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, it's HARPA, weather control, like chemicals getting sick. This is a little scary to me. If you everyone watch that movie with John Carpenter. It's called They Live, and the wrestler WWF Roddy Piper, rest in peace. He was in that movie, and they talked about the global elites talk about for depopulation. Depopulation,
Yeah.
where a lot of the people they see us as white mice, they stay on top, where the elites stay on bottom because We're getting sick. Chemtrails, like people getting sick from processed food. We'll go over, the elites, they go like, we'll go on top, do our thing, we'll come back down. So there's some crazy shit going on with these fogs and these weathers, and people talk about tsunamis hitting fucking California, direct energy light beam. Like, there's been a rumor there's been some direct energy light beams in California, but we
Mm.
don't see it because this is the thing. Trump is trying to unlift TikTok on ban because a lot of people are waking up from their deep sleep of what's been going on. It all goes back to that situation with Twitter. Why are people pages being blocked or shadow banned when you talk about the COVID or when you talk about Black Lives Matter and this? They don't want us to know. So now we're spreading the message. Like, oh shit, what do we do? Like, they're spreading the message over the whole world. There's 9 billion people. We're spreading like, hey, this is what the elites are doing. This is the 100 families are doing. This is the new world order. They're doing all this shit to us, little by little, kill us. When it comes to food, people, suicide, you got to work, taxes, everything. They're just trying to do whatever they can to have a depopulation. Like the whole thing with the Georgia Guidestones, we need to be at 500 million people. So you have 9 billion people. And the way how they see it, sometimes you just got to cut the fat off the meat.
Did you see that one of that? I saw it the other day that it came out on Instagram that soldier that he was saying that there was a lot of shit that was gonna come out to light that we don't know about.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the person who really was talking about all this stuff, and he was way ahead of his time, Van Braun.
Mm.
I think Erno Van Braun, he was talking about it. He was a Nazi scientist, working for NASA. He was talking about, if you look go to his grave, he has a Bible scripture which we say we're in a firmament. So with him, he was talking about it. A lot of this stuff. This is what's going to happen this year. So they've been already having plans on this, talking about this back in the 50s, 40s, and 30s. This is the 100 families. You got the Rothschilds, you got Rockefellers, you got Rome, the Roman corporation. It's in Mexico. No one talks about that. If you go to my Instagram, the Allow Me Social Experiment podcast, I pinned it.
Mm.
There's a major person. His name is Santos. And this guy is very knowledgeable in the world when it comes to religions, histories, and all. And a lot of people don't know. Yeah, Mexico, the whole country, is owned by Persians, Iranians, the Roman Empire, and also there's some parts of Mexico it's owned by Israel.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and that's why in a way it's like this is like a strategy to know what's going on. They're just trying to figure out a way. Hey, we're going to take down the United States and we're all going to be at peace. Because maybe in a way, there's people that see us as an enemy. It shouldn't be us. It's the shadow government that's fucking shit up, starting shit with us. We don't want wars, but this is what they want because they want to fulfill their prophecy. So that's why Van Braun was talking about this for years. And it's talking about Project Bluebeam, fake alien invasion, to try to make it more like independent days because they need more money for the Galactic Federation. And the Galactic Federation right now, there's a lot of weird shit going on the moon, and the moon is hollow. There's a lot of weird things going on that the shadow government is doing to our planet. And this, believe me not, there's a lot of weird things going on with like you see UFO sightings and all. If it are they real? Are they not? But there's been a lot of things. You can look this up. Digital social hour at Elizabeth April. She was talking about that for some kind of reason when we sleep, we go on a time machine. We go to another planet. If you manifest it in your mind, because a lot of people think the time machine is when we sleep, because we come out of our soul comes out of our body, and we can do other things. So she was talking about that she went to the moon and there was a lot of different types of alien species and she was talking to them saying the reason why you're seeing a lot of shit over here that the humans are adapting and trying to do some research, do some weird technology that they shouldn't be doing because if you don't know how to, it's like saying I'm a worker and it's like, hey, you got to control that machine. I don't know what that machine is, but I'll just play with the buttons.
Mm.
But the other different types of aliens or different types of planets know what they're doing. They're trying to stop it before they fuck up the planet. And at the same time, if you're gonna go to war, or I'm gonna nuke you, I'm gonna nuke that. A lot of people were saying that when you detonate a nuclear bomb, it fucks up a lot of planets from other different dimensions.
Yeah.
It's great. I go deep on this, but it just makes you think and wonder, like, are they real? Are they not? And a lot of the creatures that you see, like, you know, Bigfoot or these types of animals or anything, these are types of animals that are like in the fourth or fifth or sixth dimension. And we're still
Yeah.
in the third. And now that we're going to the rat season, the 2025, people are already preparing for 2025 to 2029 to get ready for the fourth dimension. Because now you're going to see all these spirits coming at you because the people are saying we're having a spiritual warfare. uh, a lot of humans think we shouldn't because you're seeing all this weird stuff. There was a person on Joe Rogan's podcast. This guy he was a guest on, and he was talking about the only time humans were already known of seeing evil spirits or magicians or just weird stuff in higher dimensions was back in the medieval times.
Mm. That's crazy shit, man.
Yeah, everything's all coming out. We're in the sign of Aquarius. We only have one more day, and who knows, dude? This whole year, 2024, it opened everyone's eyes when it comes to our family, when it comes to our job, when it comes to TV, social media, personal things. Like everything's coming out. It's because we're shocked, but at the same time, it's almost like a test. You're seeing all this stuff fruition. We're just shocked, but it's almost like in a way. Now that I know, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna change me. I'm gonna focus on stopping my generational curses. That's why people are waking up. And if they don't fulfill their goal to get ready for the fourth dimension, that's what they say, oh, God's coming back. He's not talking about Jesus coming back. He's talking about our Christ conscience. Once we wake up from our mind, that's when we get to the next fourth dimension. We're getting ready for the new world. And the people who are still left behind are the ones who are still angry at the world, still envious, always dwell on the past, always being a wham wham, like all that stuff. They just can't let go. They'll never change their ways. So the ones, they're gonna die anyway and don't even know it, because if you're being negative, you're being just a drama freak and whatever, you're already dead in the brain. So people who are having these different types of frequencies and energies, we're seeing them. It's like, oh, I can't help that person. He's still asleep still. Because a lot of people, like, I'm 44, I don't know what your age is, but sometimes in a way, if you're already into that new world, that new dimension, and you just see things way different, when you talk to people, it's, oh, he could be 44 years old, but he's still a baby still. He's not learning. He hasn't found himself yet. So that's why, in a way, a lot of these people who are already in the new world and already enlightened, they're having hard times having conversations with people because they're very ignorant and very stubborn, and they will not change their ways.
Yeah. Yeah, man. There's a lot of fucking crazy shit going on, man. And changing the subject a little bit on like during this year, like what have like stuff that you wanted to accomplish. What are some of the stuff that you already accomplished, or that you haven't, or that you want to?
I'll be straight up because I'll leave the last one. Like, it's a good one. I'll leave it for last. But what I learned from 2024 and going a little bit from November 2023, already preparing, when a lot of people were saying, "Hey, Mega Man, hey, people, get ready for 2024." I was like, "Well, why?" Sign of Aquarius, truth and revelations, and it was like, okay, it's like, read the Bible. It talks about it, but it said it's going to be in your eyes, it's going to be in your ears, and you're just going to see on social media. It will change you. But when you get that change, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to change your ways of not being the old Mega Man, or are you going to change your ways to be a better Steven Martinez and let the Mega Man die off? That's the change and stuff. So that's what I've been doing. So getting mentally getting prepared for 2024, truth was already coming out. I know in the beginning there was a lot of podcasters I was doing, had a lot of podcaster friends.
Yeah.
And what I realized with that, you know, when you're doing good, and I haven't seen a lot of these people in years, months, or who knows. When you're doing good out there, man, you got a lot of haters. And I'm gonna be honest, like I already knew that was gonna come because look at why are other podcasters hating you? Like there's 300, 400 million different types of podcasts, but when you have a relationship or what are they getting from you and you see you out there, they're just hating. So I already knew I had to like part ways with a lot of people and and some of them got exposed. I'm not going to be around people who play both sides and pretend to be, oh, I'm going to be an olive branch or they're not doing their shit because I'm very demanding when it comes to podcasts because that's how I'm supposed to be. I'm not competing against everyone. I'm competing for myself because I want to always better the podcast. But there's always going to be hiccups. But with me, it's just that sometimes my vision is not their vision. I'm very want to get out there. I want to put good episodes, and there's always this is one thing, podcasters, you guys need to learn. Like views, clouts, and numbers is a super fucking drug. It's
Yeah.
the most drug, because the thing is, you're drinking a monster every day, like the views, clouts, and numbers, and what is that giving you in life inside? You're gonna have a bigger ego. And those one of my biggest goals is to be different from everyone else in podcasts, but also in life. But for me, my biggest goal for 2024 was to kill the ego. Because if I kill my ego, then I'm gonna see who the real Steven Martinez is. And that's one of my biggest thing, my pet peeve I wanted to do is to part ways with a lot of people when I saw what they were doing. My lady and I, we already called it. It was like, see, I knew it. Even with friends, even with certain situations in life, even with your family. This whole year, man, opened my eyes. But you know what? When you're already mentally prepared and you're already in that new world and you're already in that new line, it's like, oh shit, I wasn't surprised. And the thing is, once I started fading away of not being that mega man no more and being myself, it was huge relieving. You have to kill the ego. And at the same time, my podcast and my work and my family, you got to have a balance. But when it comes to podcasts, man, if it wasn't for podcasts, I would be dead. I would have committed suicide because podcasts cured my depression. It took me to another level. And now, when I have a new perspective, I want to do the best I can, Mr. Pock, to really make a good podcast page. I don't want to say it's the best because we're all the best at what we do, but we're just all different. But with mine, I want my page to be different from everyone else because I want to put stuff that what am I getting from this podcast, but also what am I getting from this podcast page? And
Yeah.
who is he? What am I getting from him? What is he going to say? What's going to come out of my mouth? That's where people get very intrigued. And I want to do it the organic way. When people look like, oh, I got a million people watching or my videos or this or whatever, I don't care about that because the thing is, the video is going to be on here forever for millions of years. So I'm not going to keep count of all the numbers, but there's one thing I do when it comes to podcasts and social media. Always look at how many people are reposting your page or your stuff or your podcast, and also how many people are saving it. No matter what, if it's good and bad, at least in a way, it's getting out there for any 9 billion people who is subscribed, listening, watching, and looking at my Long Beach Social Experiment podcast page. And that's how it is. We're just waking up because right now they're trying to shut down podcasts. They're trying to censor it because no one's watching the mainstream TV and the media anymore. It's all fake. So if you want your real news, you want to go look in a podcast. My CNN is Patrick Ben David, PBD podcast. And that's my show. You want to get the real topics. And now you're seeing on YouTube trying to shut certain pages down because they don't want the truth finding out because, oh my God, if they put the truth out, this so and so is not going to make money. So they're trying to censor. Even with my podcast, my page, that always gets fucking censored
Yeah.
because it is. Like when people, well, they took it off, but we'll probably come back on later. People were like, "Hey, Mega Man, I got this weird thing. This is what I want to tag you. I want to request you or tag you on a story, but it's saying, are you sure you want to follow this page?" A lot of people who say, "Yeah, I'll follow that page," but they didn't know about this. If you follow someone that's very restricted, like how my page is so restricted, or tinfoil hats, or the certain ones who put the real deep conspiracies, bro, they shadow ban your page as well. They monitor your page. And that's why, in a way, people's algorithms are getting fucked up. People's numbers are getting fucked up. People can't go fucking live. It
Yeah.
could be maybe for 150 days. I saw one for 600 days. 600 days. This guy can't go on his live on his Instagram. And you when you go to your account status, you see all the orange checkbox. And they're like, you can't say this, you can't say that. What? I thought it was all free speech. What the fuck? Mark Zuckerberg? That motherfucker's a reptilian.
Yeah, you know what I noticed too, what you said right now, it's a good point that you brought up, because I've been seeing that you said that they want to cancel some of the podcasts because people are not watching TV, but and a lot of people have been throwing a lot of shade, man, for the podcasters. Like they've been talking a lot of shit. I'm like, man, what the fuck, like
You know what? Yeah, exactly. You know what I think about podcasts? People, I see all these bickering from all these podcasts from all different race.
yeah,
How about we all put that shit aside, shut the fuck up, work as a team? Because why are we bickering? This is what the 100 elites want. They want us to fight each other. Even in podcasts or in life, divide and conquer tactic. You have a podcast. I have a podcast. Everyone has a podcast. Put that talking shit aside, because that's what a lot of people know. If you want more drama, more numbers. But the thing is, well, look what's going on with our world. And when people say, "Oh, I live my life," fuck that. You have a podcast, have a voice, you have numbers. We need to wake up people, what's going on. We need more eyes. Talk about things to educate ourselves so we'll know, like, hey, I don't want to be fucking oppressed. Oh, I have to go to work. And if I don't go to work, I got to pay this bill. I got to pay this insurance. They're killing us. I don't
yeah,
want to live by oppressed by the 100 families like the Rothschilds or Rockefellers. Like, fuck all that. Whatever we work, they take. Oh, Netflix. Oh, we got to get this. Oh, we got to get that. We got to get the hottest uh fucking car or the shoes, or I got to pay this bill. I got to pay this rent. They have us like, "Oh shit, we're fucked." And that's why a lot of people are waking up. We're tired of it. We don't want to be oppressed anymore. We want to be us, and we want to be free.
the way I see it sometimes. I don't know. Those when you go to the airport, right? And they got this thing that's where you have your luggage. It's fucking sliding, and everybody grabs their luggage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or even like at a bakery, when they have the thing, bakery or Amazon or whatever, when they have the stuff going on. I think sometimes that what you said earlier, that what, you don't want to jump into that wagon that what, that everybody's jumping on. You got to
Yeah.
step back,
Yeah.
step back, and be like, let these motherfuckers get that cloud. Let them get whatever is going on right now. Let me chill and see what's gonna happen. Because a lot of people are doing that. They're jumping into that wagon.
And yeah, exactly. And that's one of the reasons why they're shutting down people's pages. I get my page shut down because I'm trying to, as you say, I'm trying to stop people from being that mice going around the wagon, going around, round and round, and you're just working as a slave, and the ones who are just the elites on top are just watching, be like, look at this fucking dumbass. Like, they don't want us to have an open mind. When people talk about who am I, what am I always been a worker, but I never thought for myself. You could say, oh, I'm Steven Martinez, but I feel like I'm nothing, because you know why? Because I've been working, I've been looking at other people's stories or visions or dreams, but I never thought about what do I want for me?
Yeah, because it's like I was talking to my friend the other day too, and they're like, man, it's like nowadays, like in music, right? We're talking about music, and they're
Yeah.
like, they're glorifying these people that rat. They're glorifying murderers and shit like that. They're like, if you don't do that, you don't fit in this new era. You know, like if you don't kill somebody, if you don't fucking rat on somebody, like you don't fit. Like you're not cool.
Yeah, it's and the thing is, they're just really trying to dumb us down. I mean, I'm sorry to say this. I mean, rest in peace, President Jimmy Carter. You know, he signed that bill for made a new department for education, and I really go hard on education because there's a lot of people who can't read. They're very ignorant. They're dumb as fuck. They're
Mm.
teaching the basics while everyone's learning from us. The elites who own the country and the school system are dumbing us down. We're trying to kill the masculinity much as we can in the United States, so the elites can take over the United States. That's why, in a way, like we went from being number one, number two in education in the whole world to like 26, 28. And now you're seeing it. And now, like the stuff you see on social media and stuff, like there's people just don't know how to talk. But at the same time, all these new Gen Zs, these new generations, they don't give a fuck. They're waking up, but they're fucking vicious and rowdy, and they don't give a fuck. Like, what are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do about it? Is this like they're all fucked up? When you see
Yeah,
on social media, just a lot of fights. You see a lot of the Instagram. How I see it as, I see a people always tell me, what do you like to look for in Instagram? I like to look at a lot of different ethnicities when it comes to podcast relationships. But I'm going to tell you what I've been really focusing on the most because this is how Trump got into office. It was the black people. They woke up. They woke up. And we're like, we're not going to be oppressed by the Democrats of what you guys did to us. A lot of black people are waking up. And because of that, that's how Trump got into office. But now because of Instagram and everything. But I'm seeing in their point of views how, they've been mistreated. The relationships, like, whoa, it goes back to generations. Remember, I was telling you for 2024, I
yeah,
wanted to really focus on killing my generational curse. And I
yeah,
can see that on a lot of people's pages and even different ethnicities, even with our culture, even with whites or Asian. I'm seeing all of life like, and you want to learn from this because, oh, wow, I'm seeing this and it's waking up my eyes. And it's like, you know what? I got to sharpen my knife. My knife is dull. I got to sharpen it up. I got to get that knowledge. I want to be a better person because this is the thing. The more I better myself because how I see the world, anything is it really going to help me get to the next dimension and stop my generational curse that I woke up it's like, hey, I already finished the game, what's next? That's how my method of thinking is. I want to better myself because if I better myself, am I going to get to heaven? Am I going to get to the next dimension? Am I going to kill a generational curse so it doesn't live on with my kids?
yeah, yeah. It's like I said. Uh, some of these changes are good for a lot of people, and some of these changes like are bad. For a lot of people.
Because they're too comfortable. They're too
Yeah,
comfortable. They don't want to change. And the thing is, you always see, oh, I'll never change. Then you know what? If you're never going to change, your generational is cursed. And when you die, you're going to be in a different century or a different time until you repeat it until you fucking get it right.
yeah, yeah, man.
That's how I see things as. If you're having all these weird dreams in the past in different centuries and you died and you repeat yourself,
Yeah,
that should be a sign saying, hold up, why am I always dying and I have to repeat myself in a different century, different life? You know what? I fucked up. I There was a curse and I wanted to focus on being a better person. So the generational curse in your family would be done. And who knows, it could be you can figure it out and it stops here, or maybe in a way it should have stopped in the 1700s or 5,000 years. That's how I see, like, people always say like when people die we get reincarnated. Now I'm thinking to myself, if we're getting reincarnated, is this something that we did? Or is it something more like, hold up, I need to figure something out because I got to figure out how am I going to stop this generational curse. And that's why I feel your afterlife, when you die from those passes, is coming back in your dreams. Say, hey, man, I'm giving you little signs here and there. Hey, this is what's going on. It's almost like in a way it's telling you better yourself. And also when we sleep, we go to different times. We go to different eras because when we sleep, it's our time machine. So there's a lot of weird things I've been getting into, but man, I'm telling you, man, this year, man, it just opened my eyes on a lot of things, and I'm just in a spiritual frequency world, but at the same time, man, you're just seeing all this shit come out, man, especially with the fucking P Diddy case. Oh my god.
Yeah. So now, like I said, now that you know all this stuff, like I said, that you've been doing like more research and like, what can we expect from your podcast?
You know what? That's a very good question, and I'm gonna keep it 100. What I've been learning, I just, I just been just learning knowledge. There's people who might know about it and all, but I just want to learn because when you learn the history, when you learn something from the past, or you see quotes and all that, I only follow quotes because I lived it. I've
Mm.
been there. I know how it is to be homeless. I know how it is to be in the streets and redemption. So I get those quotes. But when it comes to knowledge of how to be better men, because right now we live in a world where there's too many fucking beta male cucks, too many simps. And they're making us fucking guys, us men look fucking bad. And at the same time, if now we're seeing we're knowing why there's so many beta male men. It's because of the mothers. There's
Mm.
a lot of single households. The elites knew what they were doing to kill the masculinity, to kill the
Yeah.
black family, to kill any family. So we'll make it more harder for the men to fight for their kids, and we'll have a single household where when they invented the marriage and all these laws, child support and everything, they were trying to be like, dude, like you're not gonna wake up. It's gonna be a woman. Woman's gonna get everything. But what happens is sometimes you're seeing it now. The kids are running amok. Kids are crazy. What the fuck? And now you see in the comments.
Yeah.
Where's that kid's father? Where's that kid's father? We all have stories like, oh, he's this. You know what? Um, Fuck your dad. Or I seen this girl who was born had a fucked up name, and the daughter was like, told the mom, why'd you name that? So I can always remember that piece of shit father of yours, like some crazy ass shit. And the kids are fucked up, and the mother don't give a fuck. So because you need a man in the house, you need discipline, you need morals, you need to build character and all. And to me, it's just like it's crazy, man. I mean, it's fucking crazy how the kids are so running amok, and now we're figuring out the whole game. Be like, yo, this is all a scam. Now we're having a hard time because now men don't want to get married. It's like they swallowed the red pills. Like fuck that. I mean, is there a decent girl out there who is still pure? I mean, at the same time, is there any good men? Because a lot of people, it's kind of the yin and the yang. Like a lot of people are not don't want to get married and have kids, but a lot of people want to hook up and have a high body count. But now you're kind of like, oh, you're a pretty girl. What's your body count, or this, or for a girl who can be very manipulative to a guy, if people are just kind of like, I'm good, man, because of social media. You're seeing drama when it comes to relationships, marriage. I mean, even relationships can really like backfire and fuck you over in social media. I've been seeing that a lot lately. Like, man, you put your business out on blast. Like, damn, there's things I would say, but there's things that I wouldn't like post. But
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's like, this is fucking crazy. It's like every day, get your fucking popcorn. Check this out.
Yeah, because a lot of people they fucking, like you said, they post a lot of shit and then they want to like act like play victim, like, oh, it's because like, bro, like you're fucking throwing
Yeah.
yourself out there, like.
No, you know what? Man, this is going to be a deep ass episode. I know this year in 2024, there was a lot of people playing the victim like that when
Yeah.
it comes to making people feel sorry, but be the snake and get other people, and gossip or mental illness. That was a big one. Anxiety. I posted a video about this podcaster, and she takes medication for her anxiety because in her anxiety, in her mind, that thinks she's better than everyone else. And this rapper fucking checked her, and she was like, "I see, I figured you're bullshit. So that's how you are. Like, you want to get those numbers." And I say, I get it. If I had anxiety, like, I would be the same way too, because people say when you have mental illness, you have superpowers because people don't fuck with you.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's crazy, but you just see shit like that with people use mental illness to get views, clouts, and numbers. And I caught some people. I parted ways with a lot of people because, like, oh, that's fucked up. It was really fucked up to you for you to do that. You would stoop so low to pretend, be like, because I saw a lot of that back in the COVID times. A lot of
Yeah.
these people's lives. It was, yeah. You see, there was a lot, and after that, when you figure people's bullshit out and you call them out, or even on social media or in their face, that's where they feel like, oh, you didn't like that. Oh, I socked you in the stomach because it fucked up your ego. That's why people start going after you. Because, like, hey, that got to you. Right now, there's a lot of people who are just very highly, highly emotional. They're into their fucking feelings. But so when people who can't control their anger and who they are, they want to fight the world, that shows me you're a fucking beta male and you have fucking less power. That's it. Because look at a lot. Do I fight? It's like, I don't have to do that shit. But my fight is with my mouth. When it comes to what I know, go ahead. Because it shows me I'm the better person because I know how to conduct myself and you can't.
It
I
comes
can
to,
control.
it's
Yeah, I can control my emotions. They can't. So to me, I won because I got to you because you didn't like that. When people check you, you didn't like that. But that's how it is. Just right now, people are just very fucking highly. They're into their fucking feelings.
and it's not only that. It's like they say when you, a lot of people, it's like when they tell you like you gotta think before you talk. A lot of people act before they fucking do
See,
something. Like
that's
they they,
see.
they don't they don't they see like you said, like they use like, oh, I'm gonna use this to get views, but you got to think about the
The
consequence. If
see
you get
and
caught, you got to think about the
mhm. You
consequences.
know what?
And
I've
a lot of
learned.
people are not prepared for that.
Yeah,
You know.
and you know what? I'm gonna tell you, with my page, you know me, man. From the get go, all the way till now, I've been through shit like in social media, like how I see social media, like, oh, that's nothing to me, but with some deeper controversial shit, you know. And I have my friends come and go, or people part ways and all that stuff. But that's kind of weird. When people don't like you and people don't fuck with you, then why you on my fucking page and why you liking my shit? Oh, like, oh shit, this motherfucker didn't like me for 4 years. People don't forget. And you see that a lot. And it's just, to me, when I see people's bullshit, I can spot that shit a mile away. And to me now, what I learned from all the good times, bad times, and ugly times, I'm still here, baby. I'm a survivor. I bettered myself. I'm still here. I don't dwell on those types of people. I mean, of course, we're gonna say our stuff and talk our shit, but am I gonna be those types of people still stuck in the old ways and the old world, dwelling on the past? I don't have time for that. I have to get ready for the fourth dimension, which we're at in the new world. So I was the one saved, and those other ones who are still in the past, dwelling on the past, are left behind. So I bettered myself. It's all about bettering yourself. And if I better myself, a lot of curses will be done. So I'm more focused on a spiritual frequency version. And I just want to better myself. But to me, I don't care if I get views, clouds, and numbers, or people fucking hate me or love me and stuff. That's awesome because the thing is, it's like I'm just being me. There's people who just don't like me, but they still look at my page. There's people who love me, like, hey, I like the podcast. I don't listen to it. I just like your fucking page. I like where you guys go out to eat. You spend time with your family. I even have fucking podcast listeners who follow me since day one, like almost 7 or 8 years, and they see it's like, bro, I just seen your life. It's crazy and all, but now I start seeing this change. Like starting like in 2023, you just I can tell you're just parting ways with all this because you're figuring out, which I was like, oh shit, this guy figured out he's ready for the new world. He's trying to better himself. And because what I post is who I am. Like, I just want to be me. But my method of thinking, and I see a lot of people's pages, I don't hate. I just look at it. But sometimes in a way, it's kind of like, man, I wish in a way any certain type of podcast, he should post this up, post that. A lot of them, man, they're still stuck in their old ways and they're still stuck in the old world when it comes to podcasts. But to me, I want to make my page different. I'll be like, "Yo, Mr. Pock, check out my page. Check out
Hmm.
where I'm at. Check out my conspiracies. Hey, look what's going on with our cultura. Or look what's going on with this. We didn't know about this, going to school. So I want to educate you. I want you to have an open mind and start waking up. Be like, yo, check out the Lobby Social Experiment podcast case. He's posting some crazy ass shit. Because the thing is, we're all trying to help each other out. We're all waking up. Let's all work together. When people repost your stuff, oh, check this out. Hey, Mega Man, check this. He was posting Mr. Pox episode. Repost that. Repost this. People be like, oh, I need the numbers now. It's like, bro, you're just happy you just got one fucking view, 10 views, or a trillion views. As long as getting out there, you're waking up fucking people. And social media, podcast page, podcast, YouTube, whatever, we're waking people up.
Yeah, and some people are scared, man, to be themselves, and they gotta
Yeah,
realize sometimes when you're yourself, there's a lot of people that can relate, because I mean they like to follow that trend, that clout, right? That's fine. Like I understand you want to, like you say, you want to get the views, you want to be popular and stuff, but it gets to a point where it gets boring, where it gets like, what people say, like, bro, like, do you have a normal life? Like, do you have like a regular life? Because I already saw what you could do, with the clout and all that shit. But
yeah,
how can I relate with you? How can I relate with your podcast? You know what I mean?
exactly,
You know what I
because
mean?
this is where
And
a lot of podcasters and people. Sorry to interrupt you.
no, no, you could.
This is where a lot of people. If you're gonna be out on social media, you got to be in the camera. You better talk some shit because your followers are gonna tell you, man, don't quit your Jane job. You got to bring numbers to the tables. You got to wake people up. And for me being a podcaster, for me being Steven Martinez, for me being Mega Man, and I want people to know my life. When I go deep, sometimes in a way, there's people be like, you should do more solo episodes live and post it. So what, man? You go fucking deep.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you got to know how to conduct yourself and you got to know how to talk because I didn't know how to talk. I was using all these slang words. I didn't learn. I was uneducated. People will think you're stupid and you have low confidence. When you have low confidence, you have low self esteem. When you have low self esteem, I had a huge stuttering problem, and I just didn't want to learn. But when I wanted to learn, I had to debate. The first thing I had to do to know knowledge, learn how to read. I didn't know how to read.
yeah,
I had to learn how to read, and I had to do hooked on phonics. Yes, the old school. I had that, and I started reading books and all, watching TV, memorizing certain letters and all. And you start educating yourself because when I was growing up, I lived in the Harbor area, Wilmington and Carson and Long Beach and all. So a lot of people had slangs, but I don't want to be like that because I wanted to conduct myself more serious because I did not want to be picked on by intelligent people where they're super highly intelligent and they see us, oh, you're just a dumb Mexican. You're ignorant as fuck. You stupid. You don't know shit. I don't want to be like that. I want to be in an even playing field. So that's why I wanted to do podcasts. I read books, listen to YouTubes. I mean, just stories, histories. What about this country? I just want to be the chameleon because of course, I can do solo episodes on live. I can do solo episodes with Cindy, or I can do guest appearances, or I know how to do the background and promote and put the pictures and edit how I want, or have a conversation or post on Instagram. Get those. I can do it all by myself because that's how a podcaster is. I mean, do you pay someone $2,000 to help you do your podcast for what? I can do that all by myself because I already know what what the vision for my podcast is. And
yeah,
also at the same time, I want to be myself. I want to go out and dance and have a good time, but keep it 100, keep it unique. But at the same time, when you really think about it, with us all social media and podcasts, is to bring people together. It's to really have a good understanding who is Mr. Pock all about because we live in a time where we don't take the time to get to know each other. And if we don't know each other, That's where the anger and the talking shit begins. Like, get to know each other. Like, hey, that's the homie and this. Figure people out. Start having conversations. When you don't have conversations and it kind of distance, that's why I see a lot of hate. You know,
Yeah.
oh, this person posts this, or I don't like that. Well, get to know him. It's like, hey, I don't like that. Like, have conversations, but at the same time, the people don't want to have conversations because they don't want their ego to be. Did you know, Mr. Pock, that I had to block a lot of podcasters and block a lot of certain Latino pages? Very into their feelings, the hate. No matter if you're fucking doing good, you're still hate. No matter if you're hating, you be good, they'll praise you. But it's always hate. Why is that? Like, look it, I was a hater. I'll be a troll. Yeah, I can own up to it. But what is that gonna get me in life? Because if you manifest the negativity, the hate, the drama, then bad shit's gonna happen. But if you part ways and you start waking up your fucking mind, I don't want to be like everyone else and be anger. I want to be different because you know why? I don't want that no more. People are just fed up.